Over. Is it over? Folks, that's the million, billion, trillion dollar question that everybody wants to ask, but the answer is no. I'll save you a lot of time. But I have been selling, selling, selling. And unfortunately, I don't want to be right. I want this to be one of those times where the technicals, where the probability of something happening that, hey, the 5's crossing the 13, 13's crossing the 50, and we see it pop up instead of going down like we would believe normally happens. Now, I got to talk. I want to show the charts. This is ugly. I continue. Well, yesterday was the big day. I've been buying all the way up. Yesterday was the day I pulled the trigger. And of course, we're going to see if that was ultimately the right move. I have lines I'm buying back in. Understand, this is, hey, he's out, he's done. I got Ethereum and I got XRP still in the portfolio, but I have locked up. You know the old saying too, you haven't lost anything until you sell. Well, you haven't made anything until you sell. So for those who followed the channel, I was up 400K in about, we'll say 6 weeks. I am now at over a quarter to 300 up and locked in most of it. In other words, I'm resetting it. I'm going to start from scratch again, and we're going to see if we can redo this. Now, I'm excited, if you can't tell. I'm pumped. Now, I'm not excited about what I'm still holding, and I'm not sure how much more of that I'm going to hold, but for a day until I get confirmation, I'm still holding. All right, so I got some XRP. I got some Ethereum. I got no Bitcoin. And we got to look at the charts. There's a lot going on out there. Now, for those who have not done it, I have my live teaching session this weekend on Sunday afternoon. Click the first link down below. Use code SAVE, and you will save 40% off of this thing. It's massive, and it's a great workshop. We did our first one last weekend. It was fabulous. We have Dr. Stocks, Will's, Crypto Wills has his in there, and you can get all three with a discounted bundle plus 40% off. Use code SAVE today. And of course, if you're not in the Discord, I don't know what you're waiting for. Code LEARN right here, save you 50% off your first month. We absolutely did great things yesterday. And if you haven't gotten in to the webinar, that's the third link down below. All you got to do is click that, get in there, sign up. It's on the house. You can learn from me the 4-step framework to successful technical analysis. And that's what we're talking about. Now, let's go ahead and talk. Now, I'm looking at this. I got the 5-day chart on here. And as we go forward, I'm going to start and take a look at Ethereum. We're going to take a look at XRP. I want to look at Bitcoin, and then I want to look at the support levels. And this is pretty easy to see what's happening. It's just lower highs. And I'm not even looking at the trading view I have over the last week. You can see right here, right here, right here, right here, and we keep going down. Now, we're going to have a rebound shortly, all right? If we don't have a rebound, we just go straight all the way down. It tells me we are hitting the ultimate bottom, and that's usually where I like to pile in, all right? So when we have it's the same thing as a blow off top. That's where we have all the money just rolling up, right? And you have that blow off top. And I'll give you examples here. But for now, understand, we did great. For those out there, hey, sell 5-5. It was a good run. We did great, and you can see this. You got a little left shoulder, you got a head here, right shoulder, and down we go. We break the neckline, it gets ugly. These are all technical analysis things. I don't want it to be right, and we say 2 out of 3 times at head and shoulders. Once it works, it gets ugly. 1 out of 3, it fails, and we go to new higher highs. I want it to be that. I still have a ton of money in crypto, but I don't believe it will be that. Thus the de-risking. And I know a lot of people out there were shocked. Oh my goodness, Mo sold. Guys, I sold at the top the last time, bought back in, rode it back up. You saw how much more we just made. It's been phenomenal. The timing has been next to perfect. And even though it's been perfect for the buying, you have to be perfect on the selling as well. I never tell people what to buy and sell. I share my move. And when I share it, I want to be wrong sometimes, especially when it comes to the profit taking. I was wrong on the Ethereum. I jumped back in and I made the bucks, but I thought it was going to go lower before I got in. So I had to actually get in a little bit. I wasn't all in. And that did frustrate me. Now you can see here, we're down over the last week, 10.38. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin over the last week. Bitcoin over the last week. Boom, 4.65. It's not much, is it? You hear 4% down. For some of you, that really is not much. But you're getting into these levels. 115 was a big level for me, and I'll show you that chart. And you got this, look at this right here, 115, kind of a double bottom there. And it broke this here. Right when it broke it, look what happened. Boom, the flush. And that's the algorithms trading. Now you're seeing a slow, steady decline. And we're down 4.65. And then an XRP. I had an easy line in the sand for this one. It got just devastated. Devastated. Wow. And and it's still at 6.65. Is it really that bad in the last week? No. And I'm okay. I know we got up to 360. I took most of my profit, 360, 332, went back in the low threes. If it hit certain levels, I'd get out. I don't mess around. All right? I work hard for my money. I know you do too. It's up to each person what they want to do. I know there's people out there, Mo, don't let the FUD. There is no FUD. I follow the candles, man. I teach about this. And so far, so good on the timing of everything I'm doing. And that leads us to Ethereum, which outran everything, right? Outran everything. Being the one that's getting eaten up the most, and you guys know how I feel about Ethereum. Boom. Look at this. Just crushed. Ran up. And you can say, what about the 6 months? 52%. All right, let's go over and check out XRP. Well, we know this is going to beat that. 6 months. Well, maybe not. 5%? No. Right? Well, no, I don't have it. It doesn't have it. Won't give it to me. Okay, let's check out Bitcoin. We know that's already been up. 6 months, 18%. And we know we had 50-something cent XRP in October, and we know where we're at now, which is phenomenal. So good things. Good things for those who followed along. All right, now, look at this chart. For goodness gracious, I know this is the minute chart. And I got to tell you guys what I was following. I was following this. And look where I had the crossroads at right here. So for those who want to learn what I teach, and I highly recommend you guys learn the candles, folks. The next lesson is probably going to be on support and resistance, which is important when it comes to the candles. Before I do the EMAs, Bollinger Bands, and RSI. These support, I had this here, and I was teaching my kids. Trade coach. I was teaching my daughter and my other son, and I was trying to show them what I look for and how the timing comes down to almost perfect. And I showed them how I came up with the lines I had, and we watched it on the minute chart, and I told them, watch how close I can come to calling a breakout to the north or breakout to the south. I predicted the south on this, and we went out to dinner. We went out to dinner, and I said, we'll come back. I am going to guess 2 out of 3 times we will break to the south on a play like this underneath the 50. We normally stay there. And so we came back, and of course, down it went, and they're like, how did you know that? And I said, this line will act as resistance as we cross this midpoint. I call it the Stock Mo X, all right? And it's when you have this kind of, you can see the volume, everything's starting to close in, and you can see it in the chart, and it's getting Bollinger Band tightens, breakout, boom, we hit this point here, and you start to see it starting to get a little bit more volatile, and then the crash. And unfortunately, that's what, more times than not, that's what happens. And that's what we saw. And you can see it was ugly for Ethereum. I don't want to be right on these, but I also don't want people following me and having me sitting there, oh, it's all just, roses and unicorns, when it's not. I got to be blunt, and I've been arguably the most transparent YouTuber out there. I'm showing you the portfolios. I show you when I lose the money. Now, I don't hide anything. I have it on here. You have the Kraken. We got let's see what the Coinbase. I think that's up to date there. Let's see. Yeah, 233. I got 117K in cash now, 106 in the balance. And I would tell you I wouldn't have that much, but some of it was staked, and I have to wait for it to get unstaked. It's the downside of staking. It is absolutely the downside of staking. And I can tell you the rewards I get are not making up for the money I lost in terms of timing it with the technicals. so far. And then if you look at this chart on the day, look where we're at all the way up here at the top. So when you see me locking in at this very, very, very top, folks, I crushed it. I have no problem. Anything in the 4,000 anything, locking in those gains is fantastic. I don't want to see this break down into the threes. It breaks that 4,000 psychological barrier, it gets ugly. Now, this is what I wanted to show you. This is where we're at, today's candle. See that? Look at it, it's popping up on you right in front of your face, that triangle. See that? The 5's crossing the 13. This is massive when it comes to the stock mode bread recipe. With the 5 crossing the 13, this becomes bearish. We just started today's candle at the time of me recording this. And I got to be blunt. I expect this to be green. Look at the moving average there. Or that should be support, and a massive red candle. This is the candle today I expect to be green. I expect this to be green. I expect to work our way up here. And we might even get all the way up to the 13 before we hit resistance. And over the next few days, it's not so pretty. Thus the reason I kept some. Because I would think that we could push back up. If we do not, and this ends up being red underneath this candle, I got to tell you guys, it means in my mind, we're going to the 50 EMA. I've seen this dance many, many, many times, and that's normally what happens. And I know what you're saying. Whoa, Mo, that's 3,600. I know. That's why I locked in all that money. That's what I'm expecting. If this candle stays like this, roughly, tomorrow's candle would push it, the 5 crossing, and I would expect a red one there. I am expecting, if this kind of stays in the middle here, a red candle the next day, tomorrow. So that's kind of how I'm watching this. If this does flush out today, that tells me we are going to the 50. And I got to be blunt, I already think we are. So we go to XRP. That was Ethereum. XRP, you look at XRP. Mo, what are we looking for here? Not good. We're underneath the 50. We need to break back above the 50. We need to get to 295. We need to get above 295. If we do not, and this becomes resistance, we are moving down to the 276. That's why I got rid of most, I shouldn't say most, half of the XRP. And I'm waiting to get back down to this level to possibly buy in, depending. If we can bounce off of that level, that's what I need to see. It gives me a double bottom here and a good chance of running it up. If we confirm below this, oh goodness, you guys can see this. We're talking all the way down to 220 to 240 zone. All right, I thought right in the two, I wouldn't even think that. I think right here, 232, all the way down to the 210 zone, 230 to 210 zone. That's my support. And I would think we are going down there. And so I'm watching all of this. And so far, you're watching it live with me. This is doing exactly what I thought it would do. And I already said it to the kids I'm teaching. I said, look, and I'm talking about my own children here. I said, expect a massive a massive red candle, which we got. And I said, also, though, don't expect this just to go boom, 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 boom. Expect a little bit of fight from the bulls. Expect the 50 EMA to become resistance. Then expect this to be tested down here, 277. I don't know. I'm just telling you what more times than not will happen. We will see if that is the case. I said the worst thing for anything is to have this finish red. And I said that's a horrible situation. And I go, we'll know that answer one day from today in 24 hours. And we'll find out how that goes. I'm not going to be shocked to see this test up to the 50 EMA though. And then if we can retake this like this here, then we're running. If we can't retake that and get this back up into this zone, well then, like I said, you can see this a little bit different. What makes me so nervous is that you see this here? The 5 and the 13 are way above the 50. This is not the same as this situation. That 5 and 13 are coming down, and algorithms do not like seeing the 5 changed with the 50. That's a game changer. It's a change of mood is what I call it. And if that 13 crosses the 50, that's one of my, when I'm playing puts and calls, if it's going up, I love the calls. When it's going down, I love the puts. And I do not want to be long when that 13 is approaching the 50. So as I start to see all this happening, I'd rather not take that kind of risk. That's why I made the moves I made and why I sold a ton. And I locked in the gains. And so we'll see where it's going. You guys let me know what you think down below. I am definitely, hate it, love it. I'm being transparent. Hit the thumbs up for being transparent. If anything else, that's what I want people to see here. I'm teaching you my mindset, why I'm doing it, and I hope I can help somebody out there. And that's it. That's kind of what I'm here for. I've dedicated my life to public service. I want to continue to help people, and that's it. So if you have not done it, get the ultimate teaching that I have, and it is fire. When the time you're done, you're going to be blown away understanding the candles, and that is this Sunday. First link down below. Get in there, code SAVE. Code SAVE. And I'd get the bundle. You can get all three of us. We all have different times, and Saturday and Sunday. The videos are there for you if you miss. The community, you'll get access to the community. It's pretty good. And that community is private to just these workshops. So good stuff. And we have the Discord. Code LEARN. Get in there. LEARN. Get into the earner tier, though. And you get access to the 36 learning lessons, the live teaching, lots of things I have in there that I do on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And of course, the webinar. The webinar is ready. It's there. It's set up. Get into that one. Third link down below. And then the fourth link, you can take advantage. I asked them if they could change that to XRP. They did. So now, if you are interested in getting that, hit the more button here. It's right there. All right, family. That's the update. Appreciate you stopping by. I will see you in the Discord.